So Greg, you bring up a great question. All these new tools, with these new tools in place, do you have a vetting process in place to be able to see where is this data being extracted to? We're trusting them. We're putting our data in the tools, but we don't know what's on the back end for these tools. What kind of do you do in that process?
Yep, that's a great question. Great question. So one of the things that we have in place right now is we have a list of validated software that we're supporting and using, and that software goes through a process to make sure that what is their disaster recovery as well. How do we know that we can get access to that data? And of course, data different classifications too, and you have to deal with from that perspective too about what's there. But all of those tools are vetted in the process. That's I imagine that's one of the things you're running into as well is, everybody wants a different plugin, right? So, and I want this, I want this, I want that. So we have a process there that allows certain plugins to occur, and if they're not, they're denied. And so those are in place across the world for Google in regards to how we do that. So we have a process to vet that. Was this written in Jim's garage? And he's got 10 people that he's installed on, that kind of a thing, versus something in the process there. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's Terry's good with the no. That's something that I've had to learn with the software because, I have the approved list out too, and I'll say that I'll get and that's not even teachers, because teachers know not to come to me. They go to their principal, and the principal comes to me and says, my teachers need this. And I said, well, I have to check the privacy. They have to sign our privacy addendum and let me know who's have access to our data, where the data is stored. And they look at me like, I guess it's telling me no. And I was like, well, it's either a no because I looked at the privacy policy and it sucks, or it's you have to wait till it's a process. It's a process,
Right.
So and again, just like we've been saying, communication. We just, you just have to continue to tell people it's not against you. It's not against the software. It's about our children and their data. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good fit too, Janice, because we've talked a little bit about the business continuity perspective of it, but then we start looking at that from the COPA perspective, and what are they doing with the kids' data? We don't want our kids to be advertising targets before they even know what's going on. So I think that's kind of another element that private sector doesn't necessarily have to deal with. That we have to add on top of what we're doing as part of that vetting perspective.
Talk about student privacy. Our PR person had to put something out this week. If you are screenshotting the kids and their names are there, do not post that on social media.
Right. And you can't even post the picture without media.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm like, guys. But I understand the excitement and they want to share. But I'm like, we still have to think about our children and their safety. And like you said, we don't want anything happening. And I got that picture from Peekskill,
Right.
all I keep saying is Janice like, hey, I'm shifting liability here. You're not going to put that on me.
For real. That's what that is. You are so right. I'm like, oh, no.